Guy, everyone, and welcome to Friday, July 12th, 2024. I'm Joe Pratt, keeping you informed of what's happening in the world, your independent news source. Several states are cleaning up the mess left by Hurricane Beryl. It was only a Category 1 storm here in the U.S., but weather experts want to remind us that the category in numbers are only wind speed and has nothing to do with the severity of the storm, especially as it relates to rainfall and flooding. Texas had flooding, and Vermont has had devastating flooding that has caused millions of dollars of damage. The U.S. economy added 206,000 jobs in June, a solid number, but a little less than the 218,000 added in May. The unemployment rate went up a little to 4.1%. That's a great number still, but the highest unemployment rate since November of 2021. Inflation hasn't subsided yet as wholesale prices rose 2.6% just last month as compared to the same month last year. That's larger than expected. The stock market closed up today just a little short of record highs in the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500. There was a security breach of AT&T, and more than 100 million customers had information stolen. AT&T says the data stolen does not contain the content of calls or texts or personal information such as social security numbers or dates of birth. In sports, the Wimbledon finals has made it to the finals have been set for both the men's and women's side. For the women, the 31 seed Barbara Krejcikova will meet 7 seed Jasmine Paolini. On the men's side, Carlos Alcaraz will take on Novak Djokovic, a rematch of last year's final. Alcaraz won the final last year. Alcaraz is only 21 years old. Djokovic, on the other hand, is 37, and if he wins, it will tie him for the most wins at Wimbledon by a man with 8 wins. Golf's last major tournament of the season, the British Open, starts next Thursday. Major League Baseball's All-Star Game is next Tuesday, the 16th, with pregame festivities starting today. The University of Nebraska Football Stadium is undergoing renovation, and someone came up with the idea of putting football fans' ashes under the football field as a promotion to help pay for a budget shortfall. Fans who die would be cremated and placed in urns buried under the field. Fans and administrators aren't quite sure how serious the idea is, but they are entertaining it. An 81-year-old man from the UK is walking the coastline of the UK 4,500 miles for charity. He's already gone about halfway and has about 2,100 more miles to go. He expects to be done when he reaches 85 years old. He has raised about $6,000, about 5,600 euros, for cancer research and for the British Heart Foundation. Today's quote from the sacred works comes from the Dhammapada, the Buddhist Dhammapada. Although he recites few sacred texts, if he puts the Dhamma into practice, forsaking lust, hatred, and delusion with true wisdom and emancipated mind, clinging to nothing in this or any other world, he, indeed, partakes of the blessings of a holy life. Police were called to a neighborhood near Atlanta because they had reports of a teenager who might be trespassing. The officer indeed found 16-year-old Keontae Evans at the property, but he wasn't stealing or damaging anything. He was hired to do some yard work so that he could earn money to help his 5 younger brothers and sisters buy school clothes, and he was hoping to save a little to buy a PlayStation. Well, after questioning the teen, the officer soon figured out what was going on and the character of the young man he was talking to. So a couple days later, the police officer returned to the home of the young man and presented him with a brand new PlayStation 5. The youth was overcome with emotion and thanked the officer with a hug. A sign at the La Jolla Fencing Academy. The Fencing Academy says fencing, the perfect COVID sport. It uses masks and gloves, and you stab anyone who gets closer than 6 feet. Joe Pratt, make it a great day.